3 issues to consider when considering using donor sperm to achieve a pregnancy. Hi, my name is Manuela Toledo. I'm the Medical Director at TasIVF and clinician at Melbourne IVF as well. Nice to see you today and welcome to Fertile Minds. Donor sperm is very topical. A lot of couples and single women are conceiving with donor sperm, and it is a big part of our program both at Melbourne and TasIVF. And there are 3 issues that I want to touch on today that are really important. The biggest issue probably is, do you use a known donor or do you use an anonymous donor? And it is really important because starting off with a known donor can be very exciting, and a lot of couples and women think about maybe having an extended family. You do need to consider though, what role is this donor going to play? Is the donor going to be a father figure in the background? Is it going to be someone who's going to want to be in the child's life on an almost daily basis? Or is it going to be someone who's going to be completely hands-off? How do I feel about that? How does my potential partner feel about that? And how will my child feel about that in the future? So these are all really important factors to consider before you decide to use a known donor. It's very individual, it's very personal, and every couple and individual will have a different take on it. But it's important that you've had that discussion. Most importantly, maybe, is to consider that even though you start off with one scenario, once the baby's there, often things change. Hormones change, and donors suddenly, who were going to be quite hands-off, decide they want to be a bit more of a dad. So these are things to take into account and try to plan for as much as you can. The second issue to consider is, do I want to have an anonymous donor or a clinic recruited donor? And both Melbourne IVF and TasIVF have very good clinic recruited donor sperm banks that you can choose from. When you look at those donor sperm banks, you will get a lot of information. Some patients say to me it's a bit of information overload, but that's good because you really have a lot of options and you can choose the donor that seems to be the right person for you and your family. And that brings me to the third issue. There is no such thing as the perfect donor. There really isn't. Just like there isn't a perfect person or perfect partner. Sorry to all the partners out there. The reality is that all our donors have already been vetted by our geneticists and by our medical team. So we're offering you the donors that we think from a medical and a personal point of view are suitable. And so you really can then go ahead and go with your instinct. Who seems the most likely person? Who is the kind of person you'd happily have lunch with and probably have a really good conversation? And a lot of our donors also have baby photos, and sometimes you feel a connection when you see that photo. So they're the 3 issues when you're considering the use of donor sperm, and when you're considering whether to use a known donor, an anonymous donor, and when you're searching for that elusive perfect donor that doesn't really exist. So I hope that was of some interest, and we look forward to seeing you in our counselling sessions to further discuss the issues surrounding the use of donor sperm. Thanks for listening today, and please do subscribe to our channel. See you soon. Bye.